Chapter 2, September 22nd. Last night I went outside and looked under the porch. There's a big spider living under there. I'm pretty sure it's a marble orb weaver. There was a little green light in its web. When I got closer, I saw that it was a firefly, all wrapped up, but still alive, and its light turned on. I felt sorry for that firefly, lit up for the last time. What are you going to do? Everybody needs to eat. The firefly got me thinking about Mike and Chad and the guys. The night last summer, camping out in Mike's backyard, when the air was thick with fireflies, his mom gave us empty pickle jars, and we caught maybe 100 fireflies apiece, put them together in one big jar, and brought the jar into our tent. That jar put out so much light, we could read comic books. I really miss those guys. Last night in bed, I couldn't sleep. Started wondering if spiders sleep. I think I read somewhere that they probably don't sleep as we know it. They go through long periods of time where they're inactive. I got hungry. Went downstairs for a bowl of Raisin Bran. In the kitchen there was a little house spider hanging from the ceiling. Not going up, not going down, hardly moving. Just dangling from an invisible thread. Exactly like me. In the morning, Breezy was at her command post at the breakfast bar. Mom was sipping orange juice. Hi, Bobby mumbled, fetching cornflakes from the cabinet. Morning, Mom sang, the first note higher than the other. How are you doing, Bobby? Sleep okay? Okay, he mumbled. You run today? 3.5 miles, she replied. I feel like a million, he grunted. Sometimes Mom's super terrific moods were a bit much first thing in the morning. Just then, Dad walked in, poured himself a mug full of black coffee, and sat down at the breakfast bar. Could I have breakfast? He asked. I'd like a cheese omelet, bacon real crispy, and rye toast. Butter on the side. Mom said. For the past year, there had been a rule in the house that was practically etched in stone. Everybody makes their own breakfast. Ever since Mom started losing weight, she never cooked breakfast for the family. She didn't fix lunches either and rarely made dinner. Dad did almost all the cooking. Joke, Dad said, kissing her on the cheek. Who needs all that cholesterol anyway? I do, Breezy said. I'm an adolescent. My brain is growing. That's what you think, Bobby muttered. Breezy had a plate of scrambled eggs in front of her, loaded with black pepper. Looks like a coal miner sneezed on your eggs. Very funny, Breezy said. Hey, want to hear what Ann Landers said to the woman who married a man who constantly picked his nose in public during their honeymoon? Her advice, and I quote, Hey, come on, Dad said. Why don't you pretend this morning that you guys love each other? We do, Breezy said. We fight because we care. Bobby rolled his eyes. After breakfast, he ran up to say goodbye to Thelma. The new tank hadn't made her any more active. She was hunkered down in her burrow at the back. Two crickets jumped fiercely nearby. Very carefully, he picked her up and stroked her legs. He could tell that she liked it when he picked her up. She had a particular way of lifting her legs, one after another, and never tried to get away. See you after school, girl, he whispered. Dad had the car going when he climbed into the front seat. Someday, huh? Dad asked. Look at that sky. Look at those leaves. We never had a fall like this in Naperville. Bobby snapped the seatbelt into place. In Naperville, the cornfields turned brown in autumn, but on certain overcast days, he'd be playing tackle football with a bunch of guys in the Worthens cornfield, when all at once the clouds would break enough for the sun to peep through. At a moment like that, the whole cornfield would be shot through with gold. Now that's fall. Bobby looked out the window. He hated it here. He would never get used to all the hills, the rocks, the tree-covered sky. If you're not from around here, you must be from nowhere. That's just about summed it up. I won't be able to give you a ride home after school, Dad said. You be all right? Home? For the past few weeks, when people said anything to him, Bobby often heard the words, not out loud words, but words in his head. This time, those head words said clearly, home. Home is about 1,100 miles from here. That's okay, he said. I don't mind walking. The school day passed slowly. Classes droned by. When the bell rang, Bobby collected his books, got up, and walked down the halls. It felt like moving in a dream. After school, he hurried home and went upstairs to check on Thelma. She was lying at the back of her cage, exactly as he had left her. He wanted to pick her up again and play with her, but something told him to respect her privacy. Leave her alone. The phone rang. It was Mom calling from work. How was school? She's still not eating, Mom, he told her. Who? Thelma. Who do you think? I know you're worried, she told him, but try to be patient. The man at the pet store said it's not unusual for them to stop eating for a while, right? Yeah, I know. I'm sure she's going to be fine, Mom said. After Bobby hung up, he went to his bedroom. He looked around at all the boxes containing his stuff. The posters still rolled up. It looked like he'd just arrived yesterday. The only things he had unpacked were his clothes and a few books. The room was long and narrow, with the walls bare. You could see that they needed a paint job. There were 4 windows, each shaped like a quarter of a circle. Those windows, Mom said, gave the room character. 4 quarters equals a whole, but it didn't add up. He lay back on his bed. The house was perfectly quiet, as if all human sound had been sucked forever from those 4 walls. Bobby felt his stomach rumble. Bandersnorkel, he whispered, one of the secret code words he and Mike used to prevent others from intruding in on their conversations. Bandersnorkel, Mike would yell from the other side of the crowded town pool. All the kids around him would look at them like they were crazy. They had no way of knowing that Bandersnorkel was code for, I'm starved. He and Mike had lots of secret words like that. Sarsaparilla was code for, I've got gum. You want some? Sergio meant, I'm bored. Let's get out of here. Sergio, he whispered. He'd never been so bored. But where could he go? The phone rang. Bobby sprang off the bed and ran into his parents' room to answer it. Hello? Hey, Bobs, it's Mike. Mike? I was just thinking about you. I told you I was going to call today. September 22, remember? How could I forget? How you doing? Okay, I guess, Mike said. Bored silly. Tell you the truth? Bobby heard Mike blow his nose. Stayed out of school today. Flu. Oh, yeah? Yeah. Ever watch daytime TV? It really sucks. All the commercials are about diapers and laundry detergent. Yeah, Bobby laughed for a moment. Neither one of them said anything. Hey, you playing football? Little. I signed up for travel soccer. So that's keeping me pretty busy on Saturday. Bobby stood in his parents' bedroom, the phone glued to his ear, hardly paying attention to what Mike was saying. It was enough just to let the sound of Mike's words roll over him. He pictured the words streaming between Mike and himself, words stretched along a single thread, the only thing connecting Bobby to the real world. How's Thelma? Great, Bobby told him. Really? Listen to this, Bobby said. The woman from next door came over to visit, right? I was playing with Thelma on the kitchen floor. Thelma started running toward her, and this lady totally freaked. He could hear Mike laughing. The lady was having heart palpitations, Bobby said. They had to call an ambulance. Ha! Mike started laughing even harder. I'm telling you. Bobby finished laughing and took a deep breath. And Thelma's been eating like crazy. I mean, she devours everything I throw in her tank. Totally Bandersnorkel. There was a short pause. Oh, right, Mike said. Hey, wow, well, that's good. Another long pause. Bobby tried to think of something to say. I guess I'd better go, Mike said at last. I'm sending you a letter, so write back quick, or I'll rip your head off. Okay, Bobby laughed. Hey, say hi to Chad and the guys. Okay, and don't forget, next time it's your turn to call me. A month from today. I expect I might be away that week. Better make it October 28th. Write it down. I will. A month seemed like forever. October 28th, 4 o'clock. Right, Mike said. Wait a sec. Is that 4 o'clock your time or my time? Well, I don't know, Bobby said, confused. Better make it 4 o'clock my time, Mike said. 5 o'clock your time. Okay? Okay. Bye, Bobby. Bye, Mike. He walked back to his room and glanced down at Thelma sitting in her new tank. Bobby sat on his bed, trying to sort out his feelings. Happy, lonely, a little sorry. He had made up those stories about Thelma, but there was something about the conversation that bothered him. Is that 4 o'clock your time or my time? He always pictured himself and Mike together, breathing the same air, going through the same time. It had never occurred to him that their time zones were different now that he had moved east. The thought depressed him. Should he have done this weeks ago, he whispered to Thelma. Looking at his watch, he went to work and changed both his wristwatch and alarm clock from 4:05 Eastern Daylight Time to 3:05 Central Daylight Time. I want you to think about why Bobby keeps making up stories. Why do you think he keeps doing that? Have a discussion with someone at home or call a friend.